Hey, everybody. It's been a long time since you've heard from me since, you know, good old fashioned quarantine day happened. And thanks to watch our good and humble American president fuck up on just about everything out there and just listening to the QAnon conspiracy nut jobs. Oh, fuck, this is just shit. I mean, there's shit and then there's shit. And, uh, man, I swear to God, these QAnon people will believe anything, no matter how batshit insane or stupid they sound. I mean, if it's not one clusterfuck, it's another. And of course, there are people out there saying, "Oh, it's just the flu. You just get sick and get healthy and better." Even though almost a million people, the death toll has reached almost a million across the planet, not across the United States, because the United States only has 3 million people in its population. And of course, nut job conspiracy theories and a whole bunch of other nut jobs. And they're going running around and decided, hey, know those G5 towers? They're killing people now. Let's go burn them to the fucking ground. I mean, they clearly got the idea off that Jim Carrey and Matthew Project movie, Cable Guy. And it's mostly because that scene where they were lying on top of that dish and saying, "Oh, you can get cancer from this," only to be proven that no, you can't. I don't want to get into the complicated science yet because I'm not a scientist. I don't know physics, but it's a load of crap. That's all it is. It's just a load of crap, and of course, it's coming from a group. Some of this bullshit is coming from QAnon, who's basically spreading the lie. And these are the same group of people who says that if you're born a liberal or Democrat, you're automatically a pedophile and have to rape children. I'm not joking. They actually said shit like that. Of course, they also said that only good liberal is a dead liberal. And of course, there were three shootings, two of them which were mass shootings, uh, made by them. So, yeah, wonderful. And yet, people still take these and listen to these lunatics. And that's why we're in the quarantine mess that we're all in right now. It's because of people like him, like QAnon, and people who listen to these nut jobs. And of course, they have to believe, not just QAnon, but just Trump supporters in general, have to believe that Trump is the good guy no matter what. Even though there have been some serious fucking problems all across the United States, and people have died of all the ages. And then they're saying, well, the FCC predicted higher body counts. That didn't happen, so that proves them wrong, and science doesn't exist. Except for the fact that we all live in fucking science and technology is wrapped around us in every which way, and I'm talking through a fucking computer, through a headset. God, these people are dumb. Just unbelievably so much bullshit. Wow. I mean, I know this comes as a surprise, me sounding like a liberal and supporting healthcare for all and all that other shit, and not liking Donald Trump, but I always was like that. But also, my entire YouTube life, I've had nothing but people just put words in my mouth that I've never said or never supported. And then, there's the Blackmon asshole who, no, he's just a dick by all measures of the word. But I'm getting off topic and talking about some ignorant YouTuber video game community why we're all dying of a virus, and a bunch of idiots are destroying 5G towers, believing that it's spreading the coronavirus, and believing that vaccine is making everybody retarded. And now most of those people are literally doing themselves a favor and dying off by getting themselves infected by a virus and dying. Yeah, it sounds cold-hearted, but fuck the morons. Seriously. I mean, we're in seriously massive fucking trouble. And of course, you have no bullshit who's running around screaming that, oh, the media's covering up the fact that Obama was during the flu. Obama's death rates were being concealed. No, they weren't. Obama actually sealed this quite nicely, and we were pretty well protected. Trump did such a terrible job on sealing, on protecting the United States that that's why the coronavirus has spread so rapidly. And also wouldn't issue a massive quarantine order that yes would destroy a lot of businesses, but would save a bunch of lives. But like this one guy said when he was, like this one woman said she wanted to get her hair done. Didn't care if a couple hundred people got died getting their hair done, but I guess that's what you get. But this is a fucking disaster. The entire thing is a fucking disaster, and it's right up there with looking at Bush Jr. and the New Orleans train wreck, or Hurricane Katrina, New Orleans train wreck. Which, as you all remember, Bush Jr. didn't do nothing. Of course, Donald Trump doesn't even understand geography. Like, Puerto Rico's part of the United States, and complained that they're bringing immigrants when they're part. They're not a U.S. state; they're a U.S. territory, and everybody born there is an automatic fucking citizen of the United States, as long as Guam and half the Virgin Islands, the other half belonging to Britain, and him saying he wanted to meet the president of the Virgin Islands, and everybody telling them, you know what? There's a mirror. Have a nice long talk with the president of the Virgin Islands, moron, because it's you. Even though we are making strides for a cure, Donald Trump pushed the dangerous drug down everybody's throat that's unfortunately killing a lot of people. Yes, it's protecting some people, but it's still murdering a few hundred people. But, you know, there's a bunch of these nut jobs who are like, well, we're trying to save the fucking children, but you know what? Fuck if they, but I'm willing to watch a whole other groups of people just fucking die in massive order. If, get, QAnon, you're hypocrites. You stand there saying you want to protect fucking children by coming out with all this bullshit that Democrats and liberals are born child molesters, and yet you're willing to watch them all sacrifice their lives against a global pandemic. It don't make any fucking sense. But then again, I'm talking to an idiot. And all I'm going to do is just vent because that's all I can do. It's not like this video is going to, become widespread. It just shows how much these nut job conservative conspirators and QAnon are just so full of shit. They're saying, "Oh, I'm trying to protect my son, but I gotta blow his brains out to protect us from a global pandemic." And everybody else is like, "What?" And me, I'm just like, "Oh, I'm doing no. There are hypocrites for years." And yet there are people out there like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, protect him from molesters, but shoot him in the head." Global pandemic. That makes you worse than the monster you are supposedly protecting them from. And not forgetting that you assholes were originally protecting him under the orders of Donald Trump. Jeffrey Epstein, that guy that was arrested for child molestation and unfortunately passed away before he can get infected and die. And not forgetting that wonderful state of Florida, who has a history of child just being cruel to their children that Donald Trump loves and all the Republicans love, and they've protected child molesters, child murderers, child abusers for years. Texas did too, but they ended up finally stopping it because you know it didn't. But Florida has been doing this for years, mainly to protest against Disney World. It's. I'm not saying everybody from Florida is a monster because they're not, but Florida has literally become the protection agency for child haters, and yet QAnon and all these conservative conspirators are just running around protecting Florida, saying that they're not this horrible state, blah, 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 blah. I mean, they've given Epstein, I mean, when they arrested and convicted Jeffrey Epstein, they basically allowed him to do whatever the fuck he wants. And it's been going on for years. And it wasn't until the state of New York got involved that he finally went to fucking prison and then did us all a favor and died. And yet now conspirators are like, here's the reason why he died. He's protecting those Democrats. No, he was a fucking monster. And I honestly don't give a shit how he died. Yeah, it's cold hearted, but I don't give a shit how he died. He was a fucking monster. Good riddance to him. And it's funny. According to QAnon and conservative conspiracies, if you're a liberal or Democrat, you're automatically born a child molester. But here's Jeffrey Epstein, who is a child molester and was protected by the conservative union groups for years until all of this shit got spilled out in front of everybody. Hypocrites. Yeah, but I saw it coming. They're only give two flying fucks about themselves. That's why you got Nancy Duvall running around telling all these conservatives to go out and protest while she sits in her home, nice and quarantined away, protecting her and her family, and not giving a rat's ass about the protesters that are now getting infected by coronavirus, and just sitting there like, yeah, well, they're dying for me. Fuck you, bitch. Because every one of those rich little bastards in a corporation business are going to sit in their fucking mansions, getting richer, staying quarantined while you get infected and die. And they're calling Democrats and liberals fucking lazy people. And unfortunately, we're going to have to vote for Biden because if we don't, we get more years of Donald Trump and this horse shit of people dying and more mass shootings, more deaths. I mean, the United States under the Donald Trump has experienced more deaths in its country than more than any other state in the entire, more than any other country in the world right now. I mean, Donald Trump has, I mean, under Donald Trump's management, we've had more deaths than almost the Civil War numbers. Okay, maybe I made that shit up, but still. I mean, it's literally every day now. This is literally every single day. And I hate to say this, but even Hillary Clinton would have put the brakes on the government, immediately quarantine everybody as soon as the coronavirus was showing up here in the U.S. I mean, patting that shit right down. Biden, Bernie Sanders, any hell, even half the fucking conservatives out there would have done this immediately. Trump didn't do that. Instead, he just left it by state basis and let a whole bunch of people die. Thankfully, a lot of the states weren't stupid. New York tried, but unfortunately got a whole bunch of people all packed in, going and having apartments going diagonally up and down, which was not good. But, but unfortunately, I'm between both Missouri and Arkansas. Arkansas hasn't put any fucking quarantine stashes on anybody, and Missouri finally did after they had so many deaths, and the mayor was realizing that he probably won't win a re-election. Boo the fuck who. I got two hospitals on both sides of the streets on both states that I can't go to because the coronavirus has shown up there. Yay. Fun. Fun, 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 fun. Yeah. Me and my mom had to quarantine ourselves as best as we can, but even there's so much you can do. I mean, the fucking stupidity is just so much in everybody right now. And now you got protesters infecting themselves. And young ones too, who are also dying. Because half those kids who went to that summer vacation in Florida are dead now. Hell, a Virginia preacher who was protesting against the quarantine thing, he's dead now. And half those protesters now have coronavirus and are most likely going to be dead soon. Like I said, coronavirus is right now wiping away half of most of the idiots, taking some pretty good people too as well. Stupidity just runs more and more. Well, just hopefully that ain't going to be my last video, but the way things are going, I don't know. See ya. Fuck y'all, Donald Trump supporters, and who keep supporting him or won't don't want to vote for Biden and would rather let Trump go. And you know what? Have fun with that bullet in your own head scenario. Seriously, if I die and you're one of those guys who wanted to vote for Sanders and decided to let just Trump just take over, I'll haunt your fucking ass and rip your goddamn liver out and force it down your fucking throat. Assholes. Trump should not be. I don't care if Biden takes over, becomes the new president of the United States at this point. I'm sick and tired of watching all this death. Sorry, killing a cockroach. See you later, hopefully.